Remember when we said we'd stay together now until forever? Just us, just us.
What's up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessica Hickson, and I spent 5 years working my way up to the top of an MLM before realizing they're just not all that they're cracked up to be. My goal with this channel is to rescue some Huns, to prevent them from becoming Huns, and to also give those a voice who have left the Hunbot industry, like myself.
It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling.
And I don't want you to think that you could do this alone, because then you're going to raise up an army of people that duplicate, that try to do it alone. And I don't want that to transcend. The greatest thing that you can do is get in community and to be in community. And I wasn't driven that way at first, but I learned that the hard way. And so learn from my mistake. You need your upline. You need your sidelines. You need to ask questions. There's no dumb question. If someone answers the same question 3 times and you don't get it, ask a 4th time. Like, just apologize, right? I'm so sorry, I don't get it, I'm dumb. But I have to do that all the time. And so ask.
She just told you to say, I'm sorry, I'm dumb, if you don't understand the answer to one of your questions. I thought we were self-aware.
Questions, but that's just me. I feel like I've learned, self-awareness, looking on the inside, taking extreme ownership, and being humble and realizing I don't have to have it all together. I just have to be good at what I'm good at, and everything else, like, piss off. I'll ask questions about that because I don't need to retain that information. So that's my answer for that.
I love that. I love all of that. Yes. And what did say? She says, I need all of you. I need all of you. That's a good comment. That's so cute. All right. Tell us a little bit about your day. Like, as a leader, you've got a huge team, you got a family, you got kids, you got a husband, you got other things going on, you got your podcast. So do you have routines? Do you have a morning routine? Do you have things that you do? Like, just what is your day? Walk us through your day, even if some of them are different.
You're so cute with my podcast. Y'all, I really need to bring that back. I promise you, I overcomplicate it. And, I'm really funny as sporadic. I'm very much a red-blue, if anyone does color personality. So I'm like 50 or 60% red. I'm talking really fast because I will keep us here till midnight. But like 30% blue, I'm all over the place. So I like thrive in chaos, but I have to be hyper-focused. So I've got some of those, like my red-blue works together and then it works against itself. So I'm definitely not consistent on my podcast. But one thing that I realized coming into this business is, like, I'm never going back. My parents got divorced in 5th grade. I grew up in a single wide trailer. My mom did the best she could, worked 3 jobs, put food on the table. I grew up on ramen noodles. We ate them so much we'd eat them dry. I didn't realize that was not normal until one of my best friends in 7th grade.
I used to do that. Are we the only ones? Because I 100% used to do that. Like, we would leave them in the bag and we would crunch them up. And then we would put the seasoning inside of the bag and shake it up and eat it like that. We got very creative. We lived on ramen. Not gonna lie. Not because my parents couldn't afford anything else. Like, I'm not gonna give this sob story like she is. Like, we had times where we struggled, but the time in which we lived off of ramen, it was because we loved ramen.
I was at her house. I was like, oh, do you just want to eat them dry? And core memory, I'll never forget the look on her face. And I say this to you because I say I'm always a wife, always a mom, always a business owner, period. And so I touch these 3 things every single day. And there's no such thing as balance. I don't believe in balance. But, I do try, like, now, let me tell you now and let me tell you then, because I know some of you might not relate to now, but I try to spend a third of, just think about an hour. I spend a lot more than an hour a day on my business, but just for math's sake. If I have an hour, you only have an hour. 20 minutes can be invested in your mindset, 20 minutes can be invested in moving your business forward, and 20 minutes can be invested in your team. So 2/3 of what you do should be you, but that other third, don't you dare ignore your team. Don't you dare. Like, you should have a 24-hour turnaround on messages, on screenshots, on whatever. Like, don't you dare pray for people to join you and then you don't take care of them. That is like the most selfish thing that you could ever do, right?
But it's not selfish to scold your team publicly on Facebook Live because they didn't reach your goal for you. That's not selfish. Or to call somebody out on Facebook Live for messaging you for help. That's not selfish.
And so a lot of that is what I do now. There's moments where my team needs me more. There's moments where like I'm really big on just doing the minimum. And so like I'm going after my success bonus and then I'm stopping to help as many people underneath me get their success bonus, right? And so, but I do I'm not gonna say I do all the things because I don't do all the things and I'm not consistent in all the things, but I can tell you, I knocked on host to post for the last 2.5 years. I started doing host to post in June, absolutely transformed my business, transform our tribe, do host to post. I was a total hater. I was like, I'm not doing that. And then I just had another leader that spoke to me and helped me understand like creating a system around it. And I was like, oh my God, I can do that. I love systems, even though I'm not a Marine, I'm a military brat. But same as I try to clear my inbox. I try to have a 24-hour turnaround on as many things as possible. I'm always in my stories. I'm consistently in Facebook jail lately. I don't know what's wrong. Apparently, I like to share nudity and have sexual activity. So be mindful of me. Watch out, y'all. May feel a little risque. Don't even know what happened there, but it's fine. I'm the freaking most modest person ever, but it's okay. But I'm heavy on the business. I talk a lot about the business. The business changed my life. And
I wonder if she thinks that I'm the one that reported her for whatever she said, nudity and something. She probably does. Although I don't care enough to do that. But she probably definitely thinks that I'm the one since I'm the only one that calls her out publicly.
I'm very passionate about the business. I love our product. Team Hydrate. Okay. I'm drinking, oops, I just spilled that. I'm drinking Cocoa Mango right now. It's my least favorite hydrate, but it's still good. I'm very heavy on the business. So if you follow me, it's always going to be about mindset, changing your life, financial freedom, all of that stuff. When I was on my climb up in the business, I got on Facebook. I joined May of 2016, and around June of 2016, my account, like Facebook Live, became a thing, right? And so my account got Facebook Live, and I hated going on video, but I knew that I needed to be different because I wanted to stand out. And so I did Facebook Lives like at least 5 days a week. And I'm telling you, it got me to diamond. It got me to $2,000 a month just going live. And people, number one question, what do I go live about? Just be you. Talk about your business, talk about your life. And I told someone this today, and I haven't even told my leaders this. So this is a nugget for you guys, okay? Post as if you're not trying to freaking pitch something. Post as if you're not trying to sell it. Just talk about it, right? Because you overthink when it becomes like a pitch where you got to close. No, I share the good, bad, and the ugly. I am unapologetic. I've already told you something I hated that corporate would say all the time. I'm going to be me. Okay. If you've watched any of my launches, when I help launch products for the company, I am unapologetic. I will tell the whole audience, 700 people have watched me live before. I will tell you if a product tastes like booty hole. I don't know why corporate keeps putting my name. It's like they want me to be obnoxious about this, but I'm going to be honest. And I have no problem saying, hey, our customer service is not the best. Stop having your customers call customer service. Let's figure it out outside of it, right? And so I don't even think I'm answering the question at all that you asked. What's a typical day look like for you? But I would just go Facebook Lives and I would just share, and I would post every day. I would lean in. I would do as much as I could.
In the comments, I said, preach, say it louder for people in the back. Their customer service was garbage, like complete garbage. I hated having my customers call customer service because it would be like an hour wait and then nothing would be resolved by the end of it.
To be on all the Zooms, take all the...
Also, let me just shout out my assistant who was also on this Zoom, and she commented and said, what happens when you run out of people to message? And then somebody commented back and said, you just keep messaging more people. Or what happens when you can't find somebody to host a post for you? And then somebody said, you just keep messaging more people. And she said, I'm all out of people to message. And then the girl didn't say anything back. And then my assistant said, I want to do better. What can I do that is not host posting? Host posting. I love her.
But then also implement. So it's really, you guys, we could sit here and tell you all the messages. We could tell you all the tasks. We could break down her task list. That's magical. Like me too, right? Here's the deal. Your business is never going to move forward if you don't have fresh conversations every day, period. That's really what it comes down to. It's how many people did you talk today? I don't freaking care that you took notes on the Zoom. If you wake up tomorrow and you don't implement anything, congratulations, you wasted your time tonight. I love you enough to say this. Someone's got to say it, right? How many new people did you talk to today? Drop it in the chat. I will congratulate the first person that says 0 and that's honest. How many new people did you talk to today? Thank you. Emilia, oh my gosh, did I pronounce that right? Emilia, thank you. Because you said 0 and you were honest, you just like broke the 4-minute mile. So
that would be me. And I told my first assistant, I was like, I had to do it for the clickbait. I had to be able to be like, ooh, she shouted me out. She said my name. So now you guys know why the thumbnail probably says that she shouted me out or she said my name. Because I was quick. I was fast.
People are going to drop 0 and be honest too. It's all about fresh conversations. So set a non-negotiable. How many conversations are you going to have every day? And just be consistent. Like I said, it's better to go slow and consistent than fast and inconsistent.
That is powerful. That is powerful. It is, it's talking to more people is going to help you grow your business every time. So you have an amazing team and you have all of these wonderful women, that you coach and mentor and, all of these things. What are some of the things that you have done or continue to do to just help them become better leaders?
Yeah. So for me, very much like Sam, I think it's leading from the front. It's my responsibility to always lead me. I feel like so many people stop leading themselves to try to lead other people. And now it's like the blind leading the naked, right? And so me leading from the front consistently raises the bar. I'm consistently going after these $4,000 bonuses. When corporate puts something, I'm fighting for it. I earn my way to Punta Cana. Who's going to be there on the island? Drop a me, shout yourself out. That was not simple. It was not easy. And so I think leading from the front is absolutely key. I think another thing is I try to be very consistent, and I'm not talking about consistent in my business. I'm talking about being consistent in my team. We have systems, and I'll only change the system if we have to. A lot of times, too many people are trying to do the next cool thing. Yes, if you follow Steph, and if you follow and me, you're going to see all these different ways of doing it. And if you just like are a pinball and hop and 1 minute you're doing this and the next minute you're doing that and the next minute, you're not even giving your little seed time to like grow roots. And there's power in growing roots. There's power in growing depth. You cannot perfect a habit that you haven't created. And so your team needs to see consistency from you. So I'm like hyper consistent. I'm hyper intentional. I'm not just showing off and throwing things in front of my team. That's like the cool thing to do this week. I try to be very consistent. And I feel like that helps a lot as well. I also think, and I know you're probably looking for some tactical things. I feel like I'm giving you more mindset things on what I do for my leaders. I'm honest in love. I call people higher in love. I hold people accountable. I tell people what they don't want to hear, but what they need to hear, right? And
what you think they need to hear, not necessarily what they need to hear, but what you believe that they need to hear.
Me, I think a lot of people are like, well, but they're my friend, and how do I lead my friend? I'm a leader first.
That is so telling. I'm a leader first. What else do you need to know? Like, you know what that means? Taking out the leader. She's a leader first. So your friendship, if she's not leading you, your friendship does not matter because she's a leader before she's a friend. I mean, I've said it a bajillion times and I'll say it again. The friendships while you're in are conditional. Once you're gone, you don't matter anymore. They're not genuine friendships. They may feel genuine. I genuinely felt like some of the girls I was with were my sisters, but as soon as I left, they washed their hands of me like I was nobody.
And I love you. If I truly love you as a friend, then I'm going to lead you ethically and I'm going to lead you the way that you should be led. And I have a responsibility to you. That's what I feel. I feel like leadership is a responsibility. It's a duty and an obligation. And how dare I know that you should be going left, but you're going right, but I'm too afraid to hurt your feelings. No, like you can be honest in love. You can be firm and kind, right? And so for me, I think that, I'm honest. I challenge them. I hold them accountable. I'll call them higher. And I'm not afraid to honor the right behavior and elevate the right behavior. I think about it. I have this new lady. I don't know if she's on tonight, but shout out if she is. She joined me, and in 6 weeks she got her $4,000 bonus, and she was like, oh man, like I'm a little, I know I'm the new girl, I don't want to be loud about it. Mother trucker, we're gonna shout it from the rooftop, because I've got VIPs, I've got diamonds and above that are comfortable, that need to know that it still works today, that in 6 weeks you can come in, didn't give a dime, didn't throw her a customer, didn't pop a DT underneath her, taught her how to do it. It was the power of the systems, and new people and old people need to know that it frickin' still works today.
So she wants to teach her team a lesson because her paycheck is not big enough. It's not that she actually cares about Kathy, or she wants Kathy to feel good, or she wants to hype Kathy up, or whatever. She wants to teach the rest of her team a lesson.
We're going to get loud about it. And guess what? I'm unapologetic about ruffling feathers. I will make you, if you are in my circle, you will be uncomfortable, because I will call you higher, because I will treat you with the same respect I treat myself. And that makes some people uncomfortable, and some people have left, and some people have slowed down, and some people don't want it anymore. And that is okay. It's not all me. I'm not that cool. Like, some people chose.
It's not on me if I ran them away because I was a raging. That's not on me. That's on them.
Reasons to leave or whatever, but I have to grow, because the moment I stop, I will die. I have a large part of me that is lazy. I would sleep 20 hours a day. And so I made a decision. I'm going to make this work. I have vision, and I have a responsibility. And so the days that I don't want to get out of my bed, my freaking team joined me. I have a responsibility to them.
I love that. I'm like honed in. I forget what we're going to talk about next. All right, I got to focus here too. So, these are all honestly incredible tips on leading your team. When you are in the process of leading them and everything's going good and people are vibing and the enrollments are coming in and Kathy's earning her success bonus, I know at some point, like, people hit obstacles, right? Just because they're human and just because life happens, and like for us and for them. And so where are you at for them when maybe these obstacles come up, and how do you kind of help them through that? Are you doing tough love with them, or what are you kind of doing there?
I'm interested to see, I don't remember how she responds to this, but I'm interested to see how she does respond to it, because I know how she treats people when they're not present. We've seen it time and time again with all of these Zooms that I've reacted to of hers, or the live videos I've reacted to of hers. If you're not 100% present, you're not there working your tail off like she thinks that you should be doing, you're gone. She doesn't care about you. She will call you out publicly. Like, if you're not giving it your all, she will call you out publicly.
Absolutely. I think sometimes it really, number one, I think it's important that we meet people on their level. And this is where, like, I can come and be really loud to you. In my team that's on here, you can affirm or not affirm. I wouldn't say that, like, I'm a tyrant. So you see me being loud with you guys tonight because asked me to come and speak, and I'm coming to light a freaking fire underneath you. This is not how I'm talking to someone, okay? Unless I'm like really close with them and they do something really dumb, that I'm gonna like not be afraid to send a voice memo and be like, what the freak are you doing? But I think a lot of it is, number one, meeting people on their level. It would be really easy for me, and my natural innate as 50-60% red reaction is, I see the vision, why don't you see the vision? Like, I'm going to be dead honest with you. Outside of the team, let's talk customers. Where are all my reds at? If you're a red, or you're a green, or you're just a very direct person, drop a 3 in the chat. I don't even know what number we're on anymore. It's irrelevant. But my way of working this business when I first joined, I had to grow out of this personality. It's like, listen, Heffa, you need my product. I know you need my product. Is it going to be a Visa or MasterCard? Okay, but y'all, like, let's be honest, that's not going to sell, okay? And so, like, I've had to grow in my leadership. And so it could be easy. My natural gut reaction, my human instinct is to be like, you told me you're going all in. You say you freaking need it. You stay at home. You have no other responsibilities. What are you doing? That's my natural reaction.
And that's likely the way that she treats people, because that is how she naturally feels on the inside. So my guess is She may try to mask those feelings by pretending that she cares about their well-being, but when it comes down to it, those feelings break through and it ends up very badly. She's made mention before on her channel of like, I had to let some people go and that's fine. Or whatever the hell she says. Like, she pushes people away with that exact mindset. And I had the same mindset when I was in. I'm not going to even pretend that I didn't. I saw the vision. I felt like I was like helping people. I felt like, why isn't everyone doing this? If I can do it, so can you. Like, I felt all of those feelings. So I know exactly what she's talking about. And I treated people very poorly while I was in.
But guess what? When you're in a business, I have to separate from the leader. And sometimes the leader has to meet people on their level and realize, hey, guess what? People really do struggle with depression. I love that. So vulnerable about that, right? I have spent a year in depression on medication, seeing counselors, okay? And when I first got married, and it's very hard to be in that hole. And so that's a real thing. There's a lot of people right now that have anxiety. There's a lot of people right now who are tapped out. And so I've had to really soften my approach, especially over the last 18 months. And not that I've ever really been like hardcore tyrant or anything. I was like my first 18 months, but because you have to meet people where they're at. And I think you have to ask a lot of questions for people. There's been people who that have gone through life and I've had to say, hey, I'm really sorry. I can tell you're going through a lot, but I've got to ask you this question. Do you need me to show up as your friend? And I'm talking life. I'm talking like kids trying to commit, spouse threatening to divorce. I'm talking life. I'm not talking they got sick. I'm not talking their kid got COVID. I'm not talking their dog died. Like, I'm talking like, and not that those things aren't major, but I feel like you guys know my heart when I say this. I'm talking like life altering stuff here, okay? And so I've had to ask them, do you need me to be your friend or do you need me to be your leader? Because I know how important this business is.
I love how she is manipulating them to believe that she had good intentions with those words, but she truly does not think, like, if you're upset because your kid has COVID and you are concerned about what that could potentially do to their little body, that was me with Anna. She has asthma. Like, I was freaking out when she got COVID. It obviously ended up fine and she was way less sick than I was. Like, it was good, but people have genuine concerns about that. And she's dismissing that as, I'm not talking about those kind of problems. Like, those are nothing. Or your dog died. Same thing. That is some of the worst pain when your dog, it's like losing a family member. But she doesn't see those as valid excuses to not be working your business. But when she said that, she had to manipulate everyone on there to be like, well, you know my heart when I say that. But that's exactly what she said is exactly what she meant. Your dog dying, your kid getting COVID, you're sick. Those things are not valid excuses. But I'll show up as a friend if you have excuses that are valid to me. So if I feel like these are valid excuses, I'll show up as your friend. But if I don't feel like these are justified and not working, no, not doing it.
And I know your financial goals, but I need you to tell me how to serve you. I've had one person that said, I've probably used this 10 times over the last few years, and I've had one person tell me they needed me to be their friend. One. Everyone else is like, you better freaking be my leader. And I'm like, okay. It gives me permission to call them higher without feeling bad for, oh my God, but I don't want to stress them out. How many of you guys live in your head? Drop on me. You live in your head when your distributors are going through hard times. You don't know what to say to them. I seek clarity. I told you, clarity is king. I seek clarity with people. I'm okay with people telling me no. I'm okay with people quitting. Just don't lie to me. Let's talk, because I can handle the truth. I can handle any honesty. We'll figure it out together, right? And so I think that's a lot of it. I'm also trying to make sure that I lead in the color personalities. That's a really big deal to me. Making sure that like with, my reds, or at least in my team, like, so let me back up a little bit. So I'm doing the one-on-one thing. If people need me one-on-one, if I've got to talk someone off the ledge, and I'm going to tell you right now, if anyone is in their head, if they're threatening to quit, if they tell you they don't think this is for them anymore, you do not talk to them through text. Stop. You say, I totally understand where you're at. When can we hop on a 15-minute Zoom? I'm telling you, it will be a game changer. Do you know like 85% of people, I just made that stat up, but it sounded good. 85% of people just need to vent and get things off their chest.
It's fine. Most of your guys' stats are made up, so we understand.
They just need to vent. But guess what? You doing this all day with people, That's not going to keep them in your business, right? We've got to get face to face. We got to build community with people. We got to give people a space to like vent and be okay. I tell my team, and I've been so loud about this, if you don't think about quitting once a month, you're doing it wrong. You're not working hard enough. I mean, I gave myself...
What kind of job says, if you're not thinking about quitting once a month, you're doing it wrong? Like, what a job to be in.
High five. I wanted to quit last week. I was like, I freaking hate all these heifers. Like, they're driving me crazy. And, you know, I try to, so I do the one-on-one thing.
I cannot with her. How are you on her team and you're okay with being treated like that? She's like, I wanted to quit last week. I was like, oh my God, I fucking hate all these heifers. What? How are you cool with that?
You know, we've got leadership training. We've got a team Zoom. We've got a helping people make $1,000 Zoom where it's just like intentional ways to improve your paycheck. I'll do one-off little things as I see fit. But a lot of what I do is try to make sure that I'm touching all of the personalities in my team. I want to write a book on the color personalities. Like, I'm very passionate about it, but I try to have, there's periodically, I don't do all these things at the same time, but we have them. There could be like contests or giveaways, challenges to drive the reds. We talk a lot about vision, do a lot of story sharing for our blues. Our yellows, we're very mission minded. We talk a lot about debt. As you see, I call these my 10 commandments. These are my boards that all the people that we've helped go 100% credit card since I've said yes. And so I'll like just show you all the names. It's so cool.
See, the thing with that is like, even if they went credit card free, which I have a really hard time believing that 33 people underneath of her have paid off all of their debt. But okay, we'll say 33 people have gone credit card free. Who's to say that those 33 people didn't have to open another credit card or create more credit card debt to maintain their ranks? Because that definitely happens. And at that point, they're not going to tell her that that happened because that's embarrassing. So they're just going to pretend like they're still credit card free.
And so we really share a lot about our mission every single time we're together to help the yellows. And then the greens, we talk a lot about our systems and we implement our systems. But I think at this day and age, what's going to help you guys, just like what's helped me, it's getting back to the heart of this business, getting back to a vision, and getting back to story sharing. More than people need tactics, you need to remember what we have in our hands. You need to remember that this vehicle still works today. It's still called It Works. And we still have people that can come in and make $4,000 in less than 90 days. And it's time that you remember what you have in your hands. Don't get so far gone. Who here has paid off debt? Drop a me if you've paid off debt. Drop a me if these products have changed your life. Drop a me if you've seen someone who's paid off debt or lost 30 or 50 pounds. Like, don't forget. Don't be so far detached from the life change that happens, the transformational moments at the beginning. And so I'm always just trying to get people, especially if they're demotivated, they're not motivated, they're not inspired. How can we bring the life change? How can we bring the inspiration? How can we bring the stories? And I'm just trying to bring all that stuff to the surface as much, because sometimes you just need to get people from A to B. I just need to get people, like last night, we did a team Zoom all on investing in your business, and we pitched conference, and we already had so many people that have purchased tickets. As an ambassador, I got access to these tickets. Anyways.
I love that subtle flex.
As an ambassador, I've got access to those tickets. Anyways.
The fact that they had an entire Zoom dedicated to investing in your business and then pitching conference says a whole lot. All right, so I just ran out of storage on my camera and I have like 10 minutes left until the boys get home from the bus and 10 minutes left of this Zoom. So I'm going to record the rest on my phone. I'm sorry if the video quality isn't as good or if I look a little bit different. We're going to roll with it.
And we pitched conference. From the Zoom last night, I got 4 more people to commit to buying a conference ticket. It was so worth it. It was so worth it. And so all I need to do is get people to listen, get on a Zoom. And then all I need to do is have them listen to a story. And then all I need to have them do is invest in themselves. And then all I need to have them do is get in the room. We've got to stop trying to take people, like said, from 0 to 100 in a week. Some people aren't going to go that fast. they still are worthy of love. They're worthy of being led. So I will do anything shy of selling my body because I'm happily married and selling my soul to motivate, to inspire, and to keep people plugged in when they're going through a hard time.
Oh, that is so good. So good. Yes, you are a married woman, so we'll keep it that way for you, girl, for sure. So, all right, listen, like, I don't want to keep you. You guys have been here. I do need to know before we let you go, you know, who are the people that I was looking up to for mentorship and for leadership, and what are you plugging into and reading? And I know we read things and listen to different things at different parts in our business. And
listen, I think that sometimes we think that, like, yellows think that they are, you know, I wish I was a red. No, yellows, you're the most powerful color. I'm not a yellow. Don't say this. You are one of the most freaking powerful colors. Stand in your truth. We need more people who will build relationship, community, have a soft and tender heart. Like, we freaking need you, okay?
But people like her bully yellows, so I skip forward a little bit because I want to try to get through the rest of this, but
everyone needs to be loud and aggressive, okay? But so I preface this because I go from one spectrum to the other. Andy Frisella, love his podcast, in your face, mother trucker every day, cuss.
Andy Frisella is the owner of First Form, and he gives me very Dominic Izzo vibes, which could probably be why Dominic Izzo was actually on his podcast or something of that nature. Like, they are the same. Disgusting pigs. Disgusting. I love my first assistant's on here again, and she says, "What is green? I like green."
And it says all the words, like, listen with your earpods in. I go from him to Joel Osteen. I love Joel Osteen. Changed my life, okay? And I know Joel Osteen, Pastor Joel, gets a lot of bad rap. Haters are jealous, okay? Y'all jealous if you mad at a pastor living in a mansion. I say, go get two, baby, okay? And so I love Joel Osteen, man.
For some reason, that does not surprise me at all. It does not shock me that she loves Joel Osteen. He's terrible. He is the king of faith manipulation.
At first I was like, he's kind of cheesy. And then I listened to him. I swear to God, there is nothing that lifts my soul, that makes me happy, that puts belief in myself like Pastor Joel Osteen. I freaking love him, and I love sharing his podcast, okay? So, like, I go from one end to the other, and I'll listen to him back to back. I'm listening to Mother Effers, and then it's like, let's bow our heads and pray, okay? So that's me. There's so many books that have changed my business. I am obsessed with, I can't remember, different motivational factors that you test on. So you read two chapters, you take the on personality, on under, and I need a head. And so I'm always trying to find leaders that don't look like me to rise up in my team and to be good at what they're good at. And so I'm really passionate about figuring myself out, the motivational code. I'm telling you, or our house goes into foreclosure to take action, okay? We can, like, take that same, it turns you on. And so you'll often procrastinate until the last minute to do something. Why? Not because you're lazy,
because I have ADHD.
Need that urgency up against you. So now that I know that, I've had to find ways to create my own urgency instead of waiting until my back's against the wall. So it's all really interesting, but that book will radically change your life. I promise you made it for me. He was like, thank you so much. So we kind of went back and forth a little bit. Very nice guy. But yeah, the book, Chef Kiss, it is definitely in my top 5.
Love it. Definitely wrote it down. Definitely adding it to my list. If there is one thing that you would and could leave us with, you know, with regard to leadership, becoming a better leader, you know, growing a business so that, you know, you're leading from the front and you're doing all the things, what would be something that you could impart with us? And we'd love to hear.
Right now, it's something I've been...
My persistent kills me. So before she told the book that she was just talking about that I skipped past because it was, like, irrelevant, she was like, and you better write this down because I hate when people come to me afterwards and they're like, wait, what book was that? Because you should have been paying attention and blah, blah, blah. So my persistent in here said, wait, what book was that?
very loud about over the last few weeks, and especially with my team. There's this saying that's going around in the world right now, and it's hustle in silence. Hustle in silence because the haters. Blah, 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 blah. Listen, none of you have haters. None of you have haters. I don't have any haters. If someone's not poisoning your dog, lighting your car on fire, breaking into your home, and because of who you are, you don't have haters. You have criticism, okay? And we are holding ourselves back because of criticism. And that is the dumbest thing. Like, just because someone doesn't agree with what you say online or what you post, that does not mean they're a hater. Stop being a low-level leader and stop hustling in silence. We're hustling in silence because these people are going to take something from us. It's the dumbest thing ever. When you hustle in silence, at any time you can stop because nobody knows what your goals are. When you hustle in silence, you can play so freaking small. How many of you hustle in silence and you realize you don't go all out? You don't play as big. You're not accomplishing the things because there's power in public accountability. I assure you, when I get loud about my goals on social media, I could lie to myself, but I'm about to look dumb online. And so I'm going to rise up. I'm going to make sure that I go after it,
So she uses public humiliation, another cult manipulation tactic.
don't look foolish because I realize I've got eyes on me. And I'm telling you, I think that was the key that took us debt free. On November 5th of 2017, me and my husband went live and said we had $63,801.99 in debt.
I said in the comments, trolls with no life. That'd be me. I'd be the troll.
It was so uncomfortable and I wanted to throw up the whole time. And 6 months later, I'm telling you, I firmly believe it was because of public accountability. And I know we can't be putting all that jazz out there now, but public accountability, we updated our network all along the way. And we could have practically gone debt free in 12 months. God did it in 6. It was.
You know, she says her and her husband put that goal out there, which makes me think that mostly his income was the one paying off their debt. But who am I to say?
Not us. It was 100% God. We did not have the money to do it. And as we started doing it, God started increasing our paycheck. And public accountability, do not hustle in silence. Publicly, do not do it. Get loud about your story. Get loud about this vehicle. There's never been a better time. And don't silently suffer. There are too many distributors silently suffering. I get so irritated immediately when someone messages me, my leader won't help me. I'm like, nope, you're the problem. Immediately, you're the problem. What did you do to make your leader not want to help you? And how are you helping yourself? You guys.
Victim blaming at its finest.
Yes, it is amazing when you have a leader that can pour into you. It is amazing. But guess what? Just like didn't have an active leader, I don't have anyone. My upline, Cami Pentecost. Cami Pentecost. I am like a random leg in the company. There's like all these people under Stephanie. There's me, and then I think there's another leg out there. I am this random leg in the company that has access to. Guess what? I'm not over here pissing and moaning. I'm not over here boo-hooing. Freaking climbing to the top like everybody else. Top 50 income earner right now. Like, let's go. I want to be top 25 again.
So brave.
No, and so stop silently suffering. Go ask questions. Go freaking figure it out. Be the captain of your ship. I promise you. If you don't hustle in silence and you don't suffer in silence, the key word there is silent. Stop being silent. You will get everything in life that you want. And I will end with this. There's nothing greater in me that's not in you. So I know I've been a little loud and been a little passionate, okay? But you can freaking do this. And it's time that you look in the mirror and you take ownership and you believe. Because, baby, if it's up to you, you gonna do it. You got to do it, okay? The world is relying on you, so get it done.
All right, we're going to end that Zoom here. So basically just preacher's wife being preacher's wife, but we learned a lot and exposed a lot today. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell if you'd like to be notified every time that I post. If you'd like to join my Facebook group, it's called The Light at the End of the Pyramid. And of course, if you'd like to follow me on all social media platforms, you can find me at the Jessica Hickson. Once again, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!